It's in the cupboard. I forgot to get a woman. Just get any woman. Get a woman who's been married 5 times, please. Yeah. Anyway. Welcome to another study in the life of Christ. Today we are doing Jesus and the Samaritan woman. This is one of my favorite stories. It's very interesting. There's a lot going on here. And Jesus definitely shouldn't have been doing this.
What?
Yes. Jesus does some things he's not supposed to do today. Oh man, he's in trouble. But of course he is supposed to do this. But everyone thought he shouldn't be doing these things. Okay, open up to John 3:22. We got to figure out where he is. Who wants to put Jesus in the Judean countryside? Micah and Asher do his disciples. We need the woman.
Where's the woman?
Can someone go get the woman out of the flannel graph in the back? I forgot to get it. All right, Jessica. And then Alyssa can do it. It's in the cupboard. I forgot to get a woman. Just get any woman. Get a woman who's been married 5 times, please. Yeah. Anyway, that's Mary. She's. All right, open up to John 3:22. Can someone tell me where Jesus is and what he's doing?
He's in Samaritan.
Yes, Asher. 3:22.
In the Judean countryside.
Yes, and what's he doing?
He's baptizing people.
He's baptizing people. But we know that it's his disciples who baptize. Who else is baptizing? John the Baptist. And then there was an argument, and it's interesting. But they're arguing with John. So skip ahead to John 4:1. Now, what did the Pharisees hear? Someone tell me what the Pharisees heard in verse 1.
They heard that he was gaining and baptizing more disciples than John.
Yeah. So Jesus is growing in popularity, and the Pharisees now kind of have a target on Jesus, if they already didn't. I think they did. But it was, in fact, not Jesus who baptized, but his disciples. When Jesus heard of this, what did he do? So when he heard that the Pharisees are like hearing that his fame is growing, essentially, what did Jesus decide to do?
Get more famous.
No.
Break some rules.
No. Well, yes, but what does it say he decided to do?
Get in trouble.
Judea and return to Galilee.
He's like, I'm out of here.
He leaves Judea and goes back to Galilee. Now, our story today takes place on the journey from from Judea to Galilee. So, there's a very specific way, we've talked about it a little bit, that good Jews would go. Where would they avoid? Samaria. I want to talk a little bit about Samaritans. Why do they avoid Samaria? Why do good Jews avoid Samaria?
Because they're bad.
They're bad?
They're mudbloods.
They're mudbloods. That's pretty accurate, actually. So, go all the way back in your minds.
It's unclean.
Well,
I said that.
I guess.
not necessarily, no. But go back in your mind to a guy named Joseph. Okay? Joseph, who was he?
Mary's husband.
No, sorry. Way back.
Favorite
Genesis
son.
Joseph.
Favorite son.
Yes. Joseph was the favorite son. And what did his brothers do to him?
They tried
They wanted to kill him.
and then they decided to throw him into a pit and sell him to
Threw him in a pit, and then wait, we can make money off this guy, and sold him into slavery. Where did Joseph end up?
Egypt, and he
Egypt.
became high power,
Cohen?
second in command.
So is being a Samaritan like a good person, like the same or different?
Oh, interesting. There's a parable of the Good Samaritan. I'll get to that. Let me finish with Joseph first. Joseph grew up after, he got sold into slavery.
He went
Where?
to Egypt,
In
and
Egypt.
Then he became second in command.
Yes, he was a slave, and then in prison. Well, it gets worse than being a slave. In prison, and then all the way up to second in command. Who did Joseph marry?
Mary. I don't know.
And we don't know her name, but where was Joseph's wife from?
Egypt.
Egypt. So Joseph's kids, are they full-blood Jews?
Nope.
No. What are they?
The mom has to be Jew.
Yeah, that too. They're half-blood. Yeah. So they are half Egyptian, half Jewish, half descendant from Abraham. So fast forward, they stay in Egypt, right? The whole family, brothers come. They grow to a great people. Now there's 12 tribes from the 12 sons. So Joseph is one of those tribes, right? When they come back, when they come back to the promised land, this area, including Samaria, Galilee, Judea, all that area, they divide the land up into 12 parts. But to this time, 400 years later, they still look down on Joseph's sons. Even though Joseph was the best, right? Like Joseph is faithful. He follows God even when things are hard, even when he's in a foreign land, he does the right thing. He has opportunities thrown at him, and he stands strong to do what's right. Good job, Joseph. He trusts God. God brings him to a high place to save his people. But why? What's going on here with the Samaritans and the other Jews? Starts with an R.
Racism.
It's basically racism, right? Because these probably would have been darker skinned and mixed blood people. So this is racism here. There's also some other things that went on with like them marrying other people groups too, which happened, and so there's other races involved in the Samaritans too. But at the root of it, it's racism. They're still Jewish. Samaritans are still Jewish people, but they're like second-class Jews to the real Jews. Okay, so this is basically racism. And good Jews, when they travel north to Galilee, where would they go?
Around.
Yeah, they go around Samaria. They'd rather travel in Gentile lands than Samaria. They hate the Samaritans so much. And there's other things too that have happened in history. The Good Samaritan, which Cohen brought up. What is that about? Yes,
The
Isley.
parable that Jesus told about a man who was like really hurt and laying on the side of the road about
Yep.
to die. And then there was like a priest. who,
Yeah,
like,
so a really good priest,
totally avoided him.
a Levite,
And
go
then a
by,
Levite
don't
walked
help.
by him,
Is the man who got hurt Jewish or Samaritan?
Jewish.
Jewish.
And then the Samaritan came in and helped him.
Right.
Like,
What is the point of that story that Jesus told?
the Samaritans are
different doesn't mean they're
Does it mean all the Samaritans are good?
Don't be racist.
everyone's able.
It means
The righteous people didn't even do the right thing.
it's the unexpected, right? The Jews hearing that story would never expected the Samaritan to help a Jew. They did not get along. This is racism on both sides. We're going to see even the Samaritan woman doesn't like Jews either. There's stuff going on between them. It's not just Jews that hate Samaritans. Samaritans hate Jews too. They've divided and they've stayed apart. They don't even go to the temple. They and some things happened in history where they set up their own system of worship, northern tribe stuff, if you remember the divided kingdom, some of that stuff too. So this is a long, long history of animosity, of people hating each other, rooted in racism. Yes?
I remember bringing this up at one of my Bible studies because this is not the most prominent view of the Samaritans.
I did more research and I still hold to my view.
I agree, but can you bring up what, like even, basically everyone's Bible commentary will not list that as the prominent view of who the Samaritans
They also intermarried with other people. So that's racism too.
Yeah.
So, but it goes all the way back. And they didn't like Samaritans
Yeah, I
long
was
way
just
back.
looking into it. It's like, yeah, the Samaritans say they are from Joseph. The typical Jewish view is just that they were intermarried
Yeah.
people left after the conquest of the Assyrians.
Yes. So that, yeah, they're intermarried, but I think it goes all the way back to Joseph and his wife. That's why I take it back there. And these are the actual lands of Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph's two sons got two chunks. So it's also geographical. These are the sections of land that become Samaria that Ephraim and Manasseh, Joseph's two sons, became two tribes. They almost got a double portion. Anyway, that's a side note. Yeah. So Jesus decides every good Jew goes around Samaria. This is the first thing Jesus did wrong. What did he decide to do?
Breakthrough.
Yes. Verse 5.
Of what?
John chapter 4. Oh, actually, verse 4. We need to do verse 4. Someone read verse 4 for me. John 4:4. Yes, Hunter.
And he had to pass through Samaria.
He had to pass through Samaria. Why did he have to pass through Samaria?
Because he had to.
He had to.
Because he chose to?
He not supposed to. Why did he have to? Any ideas?
Because it's faster and he needed to get away quick. And then, and the Pharisees would never go there to chase him.
He's
I
trying to
like that,
escape.
I like that.
Okay, that's a good. He had to, right? He's like, let's take a shortcut. It is a shortcut. It is a shorter way. It is the most logical way to go where he's going, but good Jews would not go that
And
way.
if the Pharisees...
I think there's something else going on. Who's Jesus obeying here?
God.
Yes, I think the Father led him there. So when it says he had to go to Samaria, I think he had to because God told him to, and he's being obedient. So Jesus leaves to avoid the attention of the Pharisees. He goes through Samaria. He had to. I think he's being led by the Spirit.
To avoid the attention of them.
So he comes to a town in Samaria called Sychar, near the plot of ground Jacob had given to his son Joseph. So it goes all the way back to Joseph, like we talked about. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about the 6th hour. So, and then the disciples go into town to buy food. So I want you to note, we're talking about the humanity of Jesus here. What was Jesus feeling?
Hungry, thirsty.
Tired, hungry, and thirsty. Who's felt tired, hungry, and thirsty before? Very human emotions, right? Very human experiences to feel those things. Was Jesus a superhuman? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was different in that he was sinless and that he was God, but he had a very human body. We saw in the desert when he was being tempted. The Bible states the obvious. He was hungry after not eating for 40 days. Satan tries to tempt him by making the bread. So Jesus, very human, real, physical feelings, tired, thirsty, and hungry. Then a Samaritan woman comes to draw water. Oh, do we know what time it is? It just said. 6th hour, okay? So they would count time basically from sunrise to from sunrise. So hour 1, if the sun rose at 6, it would hour 1 would be 7. All right. Anyway. All right. What's the 6th hour if the sun rose at 6?
Sunset.
What's 6 hours plus 6? Noon. Okay.
Oh.
Where's the sun at noon?
In the middle.
Straight up. That's one of the hottest times of the day. Do you think that's the time to go carry heavy jars of water from the well?
No.
No. When's the common time? We have running water. We don't go to get wells.
In the morning.
In the morning. Okay? The Bible notes this time of day because everyone reading it would understand, everyone who goes to get water on a regular basis would understand, you don't do this at noon, right? You go get it in the morning so you can have it for the day. You're cooking, you're washing, everything you need to do. Why is the woman getting water at noon?
She's ashamed.
She's an outcast. What did you say?
She ran out.
She ran out. Good idea.
She ran out half through the day.
She didn't get enough.
Husband, so she's getting a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of water. This woman is all by herself. Getting water in the morning was a social thing. You know how ladies love to go to the bathroom together? It's the exact same thing. They'd go to get water together. It's social. They're connecting. So a woman who's getting water all by herself is rejected or dejected.
And vulnerable.
Yeah, it could be dangerous, right? Like, she's vulnerable. She's not welcomed by the other women, and we're going to find out some of the reasons possibly why. So, here's the other thing Jesus does that he's not supposed to do. What does he do next?
He asked her for water.
He asks a woman for water, right? So, surprisingly, Jesus asked the Samaritan woman for a drink. That's our next point. He says, "Can you give me a drink? Will you give me a drink?" It says his disciples had gone into town to buy food. It hasn't said yet that Jesus is hungry, but I'm assuming if they had to go buy food, they were hungry. Jesus is thirsty. He's asking for water. Okay. It said he's tired. The Samaritan woman, "You are a Jew, and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" And thankfully, they put it in parentheses. They make it clear here, like they're not just for the original readers that would have understood. For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. Thank you for that parentheses, John. So Jews do not associate with Samaritans. So Jesus, what is Jesus doing wrong here?
Talking to her.
Talking to a Samaritan, also talking to a woman. This, like the social dynamics here, he shouldn't be talking to her as a woman who's not his wife. For many reasons, cultural, social reasons. So Jesus is doing more surprisingly wrong things by talking to her. Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water." So here's what is really interesting. Jesus takes this conversation, the context of what's going on, they're at a well, they're getting water, and he goes to spiritual things immediately. So last Saturday, we were with the Dare to Share conference, and we were doing different things. We sent out groups collecting food door to door, going to homeless people and giving them blessing bags, and one group that was going around giving McChickens to people. Do you know why we were doing those things?
To be nice.
To be nice.
Spread the
It was
gospel.
nice. But yes, we were trying to spread the gospel. Here's the challenge that happens, that the constant challenge in trying to share the gospel with people is like, how do you transition the conversation from physical things to spiritual things? Jesus just jumps right in. But he uses the context, right? He uses what's going on with the water, and he's like, if you knew who was asking you, you'd be asking for living water. So he's talking about his identity, who he is. So he goes right to spiritual things, but he's like using the context around him. This is the challenge of what we can always try to do, especially sharing the gospel with random people on the street, which is great practice. Not always effective, but I heard a stat that Pastor Bill said. I was talking about what you guys were doing on Saturday. He's read that the average person needs 25 to 35 encounters with Christians before they believe. Positive interactions with Christians, like hearing the gospel, hearing different things. So it's very rare that you would come up to someone who's never heard the gospel before and share it with them and they would believe the first time. That can happen, but often it's many little encounters, little seeds planted. So that's what our groups were doing, was having these little encounters, trying to turn the conversation spiritual to the things of God. Jesus does that right away. Does the woman get it?
No.
No. She's still stuck physical, which is fine. "Sir," the woman said, "you have nothing to draw water with, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank it from himself, and also his sons and his flocks and herds?" So she also goes to something that's kind of divided. They think like they have Jacob's well. That's something that they think that is really important to them, and kind of the landmark of their town is like, you think you're better than Jacob? Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give him will become a living spring of water, welling up to eternal life." Is Jesus talking about physical water?
No.
Does Jesus have some magic Dasani water bottle from Italy, from Natural Springs, that's like super water? Smart water. You ever seen that water? What is dumb water? If there's smart water, there must be dumb water. No, Jesus is talking about the Holy Spirit. He's talking about renewed life. He's talking about the gift of salvation. He's like dropping spiritual hints into this conversation. Does the woman get it? No. "Sir, give me this water so I won't get thirsty again and having to keep coming back to draw water." So she's probably thinking he's kind of crazy now. He told her, "Go call your husband and come back." Okay? So this is really probably common. I mean, this would be a normal thing to say because he's not really supposed to be talking to the woman. She should probably have a conversation with her husband. Right? So, call your husband, come back. She says, what does she say? "I have no husband." Oh, we need to move Jesus and the disciples.
To where? Samaria?
Okay, Jesus is talking to the woman now, and the disciples have gone into town.
Which town? Samaria?
No, Sychar. I don't think it's on the map. Is Sychar on that map? It's by Samaria. So, and have Jesus talking to the woman. Okay, cool. So, the woman says, I have no husband. Here's where Jesus drops a bomb in a way that only Jesus can do, or the Holy Spirit can do through people. He drops some sight, some knowledge that normal people would not have on this woman, and it totally changes the conversation. Jesus said to her, you are right when you said you have no husband. In fact, you've had 5 husbands, and the man you have now is not your husband. What you said is quite true. So Jesus reveals that he knows more about this woman than he should just by meeting her the first time. Okay? So he knows her whole history. He knows that she's had 5 husbands, and the man she's with now is not her husband. Okay, what does this say about the type of woman that this is?
Well, is she like outliving them or like divorcing them?
Well, good question. Has she just outlived them? I think because of also the indication that she's with a man now who's not her husband doesn't mean that her husbands have died, unfortunately. I think that is a good question. I think it would say that she's also combined with the fact that she's going to the well at midday all by herself means her lifestyle has gotten her rejected by the community. They think she's a promiscuous, loose woman who's had lots of husbands, married and divorced, sleeping with people that's not her husband. This is the type of woman we can gather just from this statement. Okay? So this changes the conversation that all of a sudden Jesus knows so much about her, and you see that her response changes. Sir! What? Yeah. Sir, the woman said, I can see that you are a prophet. Okay? So she's like, wow, you know something that you should not know. This has been revealed to you from God. That's what prophets get, revealed truth from God. And then she goes spiritual, okay? She goes to her spiritual problem, right? Her problem with God is revealed immediately. And that's what's so cool when we bring up spiritual conversations, when we talk with people, when we're going door to door or whatever, we can can I pray for you, right? We try to bring in a spiritual conversation. We bring up the fact that we're from a church collecting food. We can ask them, do you go to church, right? A lot of times the response from people is going to be like, well, I used to go to church, but then this problem happened, or like this happened. You'll get revealed the rub, the problem that people have with religion, or with church, or with Christianity, or with their belief in God. Or what's some other things that you heard people say, guys who are out on the street, Georgia?
Oh, well, I mean, this isn't like from like the street.
Sure.
But one of my friends, the reason why they don't go to church anymore is because one of the people, it was for like a really valid, I mean, it was like for like a really like, the church was like mean to one of their siblings, so then they just like don't go to church anymore.
Right.
So, which it was a sad museum how the church was mean. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And so people will often bring up their problems with the church, or their problems with religion, or they'll say, I don't believe in God. And then if you dig further, there's usually a reason why. People usually aren't atheists for no reason at all. They usually have a problem with God. They believe this happened, and I don't believe a good God would let this happen, so I don't believe in God, or I don't believe God exists, right? So there's things going on in people's lives that often... there's very few people you run into that just like, what? I've never heard of God, or a concept of God, or religion. Like, pretty much people are exposed to that. Like, they usually have something going on. This woman has a reason, so she brings up her problem. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews, here's her problem. You Jews claim that you have to worship in Jerusalem at the temple. And Jesus declared, believe me, woman, a time is coming when you will worship the Father neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. Yet a time is coming, and has now come, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For these are the kind of worshipers that the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth. So he's bringing up like the future hope of the gospel, right? And where does it lead this woman? Exactly where Jesus wanted her to go. The woman said, I know the Messiah called Christ is coming. When he comes, he will explain everything to us. So what do we hear? What is this woman looking for? What is she expecting? The Messiah. And who's standing right in front of her?
The Messiah.
Isn't that cool? So Jesus masterfully leads this conversation to her desiring the Messiah. And this is awesome. Has Jesus told anyone that he's the Messiah yet?
No.
Well,
Who is he going to tell first?
he told her.
A Samaritan.
A Samaritan woman. That's just amazing to me. Jesus declared, I who speak to you am he. So, Jesus, who did Jesus meet with last week?
Nicodemus.
Who is Nicodemus?
Pharisee.
One of the top Pharisees, like on the high council, right? A man with a lot of authority and power. Did Jesus talk to him like this? No, it was
He's like,
different.
bro, you should know stuff.
Right? We talked about like how he talked in like the wind and the being born again. He spoke truth, but he didn't reveal himself to Nicodemus. Basically, if it were you, who would you have chosen to reveal yourself to? This woman, this random dejected woman from Samaria, or the high ruling council guy that you had a meeting with a couple nights ago?
First dude.
Yeah, because he has power. He's authority. You got on his good side, like it would open up doors for you. But this woman, what does Jesus have to gain by telling her he's the Messiah?
Nothing.
Nothing,
Well,
right?
another follower.
One follower, right? One random, nobody likes her follower, okay? So anyway, I just think it's amazing and beautiful that Jesus revealed himself to the Samaritan woman. The disciples now, they come back. So move the disciples back to the party at the well. Where's my, Asher.
At the well.
Yeah, get closer.
Yeah, to scoot them a little bit closer. They went to town to buy food. They were surprised.
Holding her.
Again, what was Jesus doing that was wrong? Not culturally, not a good idea, not supposed to do?
Talking to a lady.
Talking to a woman. The disciples surprised to find him talking with a woman. But no one asked, what do you want, or why are you talking to her? Disciples knew better than to question Jesus. Good job, disciples. So the disciples also are thinking of physical things because, the woman leaves the water jar, goes back into town, and says to the people, come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Christ? Right? She's like, could this be the Messiah? Then they came out of town and made their way toward him. I find it amazing that everyone believed this woman. Like this woman of low reputation.
They not like her. Why would they believe her?
They're like,
Okay, here's some interesting things too that I've heard that it's very likely, I forgot to look this up, but it's very likely that John the Baptist has been in this area and preparing the way for Jesus because of the things that we see. I forget where that comes from, but Josh Yates told me that, so ask him. So what was John the Baptist's job?
Prepare the way.
To prepare the way. What does it seem like the people are ready for?
The way.
The way. Jesus. So the people are ripe. What is she looking for? Where does she go? She brings up the Messiah. She's like, I know the Messiah is coming. Why does she know the Messiah is coming?
because John told them.
Yeah, I think so. I think John has prepared the way, and this is why the people respond to this woman that they probably don't like, and they all come out to see. Meanwhile, the disciples urged him, Rabbi, eat something. But he said, I have food you know nothing about. The disciples said to each other, could someone have brought him food? Once again, the disciples are thinking of only physical things. What filled up Jesus right here?
Holy shit.
Yeah, and this amazing conversation. Have you ever had just a conversation with someone that maybe God was part of, you felt like it was what you're supposed to, or done something that felt like God led you to do? You kind of have this full feeling, like this fulfilled feeling, right? I think that's what Jesus was experiencing. He says, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and finish his work. Do you not say 4 more months in the harvest? I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. Even now the reaper draws his wages, and even now he harvests the crops for eternal life, so that the sower and reaper may be glad together. This is the saying, one sows, another reaps is true. I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. Others have done the hard work, and you have reaped the benefits of their labor. So, what did Jesus send the disciples to do?
Get food.
Right. What did they do?
Get food.
All right. What else did Jesus want them to see?
Get food.
What else did Jesus want them to see?
Get food.
Georgia said it.
The people.
Yeah. He wanted them to see as they go into town. Do you think they liked going into town to Samaria to buy
No.
food with all the Samaritans that they didn't like?
No.
How did the Samaritans know that they're Jews?
Good question.
You just know.
I think they look different. If,
Maybe beer.
I think they're probably lighter skinned
Different.
because of the intermarrying with darker skinned people.
But they're
So
the
maybe
same.
racism going on, maybe the way they dressed, but they kind of knew they knew somehow. I'm not sure. Good question.
Probably the gender difference.
Yes, they were. It was obvious, right? She saw Jesus like, you're a Jew, right? Like she knew right away. What do you think Jesus wanted the disciples to notice in town that they didn't notice? Yes.
That the people aren't so different from them.
Okay, maybe he wanted them to, notice them. What else? What did Jesus say about the harvest or about the fields?
Whoa, say it again.
What did Jesus say about?
The fields are ripe for harvest.
Okay, what are the people doing as soon as they hear, "Could this be the Messiah"? How are they responding to the woman?
Where?
They're all coming, right?
Verse 30, they came streaming.
They
from
came
the
streaming out. I think Jesus sent the disciples into town, wanting them to see. It's kind of a little test, right? Like it's like Jesus is a good youth pastor, and he sends the disciples in to see how they're going to respond to the situation. And they get it?
No.
No, they're thinking like food. Like we gotta get food. They're locked in. They don't see that the people are ready for the Messiah. So this woman becomes the person that brings them all to Jesus instead of the disciples. Okay, I think that's what's going on here. That's not super clear, but I think Jesus wants the disciples to notice that the fields are ripe for harvest, that the people have been prepared, maybe by John the Baptist, for the Messiah to come. And he says, others have done the hard work. You've reached the benefits of their labor. I sent you to reap what you have not worked for. Okay? So the disciples don't really get it. They're thinking of only physical things. But what happens?
Verse 59.
39.
Look in your Bibles, verse 39.
The people come out, and what happens?
Someone answer.
Many
They
Samaritans
believe.
from the village believed.
Yes,
Jesus.
many Samaritans believe. Why did they believe?
Well, they said,
Because of the woman's testimony. This dejected woman, they believe her testimony, and her testimony is, he told me everything I ever did. So when the Samaritans came to him, they urged him to stay with him, and he stayed 2 more days. And because of his words, many more became believers. So first they come on the testimony of the woman, right? They believe the woman, and then they hear from Jesus, and now they believe, right? And so that's our job. That's our job, is to be the woman. Be like, come and see, Henry, come and see Jesus. That is our job. What the disciples were supposed to do, they didn't do it. But the woman did, is come and see. Where did we hear those words before?
Oh, the tomb.
No, later.
Tells them to Andrew and
Yeah, the disciples that leave John say, where are you staying? Jesus says, come and see, right? So much of what we're supposed to do as Christians is bring people to come and see Jesus. And then we don't have to convince people. We don't have to be have super cool arguments about, the creation and convince people that Jesus is real with science. All we need to do is bring people to Jesus. Come and see Jesus, and you believe Jesus for yourself. You believe Jesus' word. So she brought people to come and see Jesus. They came and saw Jesus, and then they believed. They believed the woman, and then they believed Jesus because of his words. Then they said to the woman, we no longer believe just because of what you said. Now we've heard for ourselves. We know this man is really the Savior of the world. Boom. So, a bunch of people, after a few days, believe. And Jesus spends 2 days with them. Once again, something he's not supposed to do. Stay 2 days with Samaritans? Bad idea. Good idea, right? So, Jesus does some very non-typical things. Let's look at the how, the method. Okay, so to sum this up, what was Jesus doing here? Jesus goes somewhere unlikely and talks to someone unlikely, right? Jesus was not doing his typical things that good Jews would do. He was going somewhere unlikely and talking to someone unlikely.
I think we should think about, like, context. What are the unlikely places and unlikely people in your life? It's going to look different for each of you.
Yeah.
But I remember one time the way we talk about, like, Canadian drivers. I was like, why do we hate them so much? Like, we're literally treating them like Samaritans.
Yeah.
You know, what about someone who is part of the LGBTQ community? They're an unlikely people group to go to, right?
Yeah.
What else? Another religion.
Mm-hmm.
Going to, like, maybe your Mormon friends or maybe someone who is Hindu.
Yeah. Awesome.
Or maybe it's like, I don't know, just like popular kids or the weird kids, like
Outcast, dejected people.
and homeless.
Homeless people. Like I think if you want something different to happen in your life, you have to do something different, right? Like if you just do the same things over and over, you're going to get the same things over and over. If you go and do something different, if you talk to someone different, if you talk in a different way, if you try to bring up spiritual conversations, all those scary things, right? Is it scary to go door to door?
Yes.
Is it scary to talk to homeless people? Is it scary to talk to like a kid who has no friends that no one likes?
No, I like talking.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
It kinda is hard.
Well, it's scary to talk to someone you don't normally talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like to go out of your comfort zone and do something different. But if you want something different, did anyone lead anyone to Jesus yesterday? Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere yesterday.
So my point is, if you do the same things over and over, you're going to get the same results. Like you have to do something different. Jesus did something very different. He went to a totally different group of people. He talked to someone he didn't. Yes. Yes, if you do the same thing over and over and expect different results, is the definition of insanity. Thank you, Albert. So that, like sometimes we have to do uncomfortable, different things. Jesus went somewhere unlikely and talks to someone unlikely. Okay, that's what he did. That's how he did it. Why did he do it? What does he show us? Jesus shows us that the Messiah is for everyone, okay? I've caught myself in doing this. I tell this story. This is a while ago now, so anyway, it doesn't matter. I had two friends. One was really nice, and one was really mean. Who do you think I thought would most likely become a Christian? The nice one, right? Because he's so nice, like he's almost a Christian now.
So real.
I had zero hope that the mean one, who was mean to his kids and yelled at his kids, would become a Christian. And I had a lot more hope that the nice one, who was nice to his kids and a good dad, would become a Christian. Is that how God works?
No.
Does he save nice people?
No.
He might. He can. But can he save mean people?
Yes.
Yes. So, like, we put our own thoughts into this all the time. We think, wow, that person's really nice. They'd make a great Christian. Because they're basically almost a Christian now. So we just need to add Jesus to their niceness. Like, that's not how Jesus works. He transforms and changes lives. He takes evil, rotten, terrible people and makes them his followers and makes them his ambassadors. And he does things with them. He chooses unlikely, random people all the time. Like, he goes and gets Gideon, who's like, I'm the least of my family, and my family's the least of the tribes, and my tribe is the least of all the other tribes, and I'm hiding in a pit because I'm scared. You want me to lead an army? Like, he chooses
Like
Gideon,
Daniel,
right?
He's like, I'm still gonna pray for the window.
Yeah. So it's like God chooses unlikely people. Let's not put our own thoughts into like who should become a Christian and not. Like, let's spread the gospel with anyone who's available and do something different. All right, what's for us?
Oh, make sure to make fill in the blanks, baby.
Oh yeah.
Don't give us all the us. Like, blank out some words for us. We have to guess.
We should share this blank with blank.
Good news with everyone. Did I get it?
Yes.
I have not
We should share this good news with everyone,
Yell that out loud.
not just the blank.
Whoa. I wasn't tracking. Start again.
We should share this good news with everyone, not just the blank.
The Jews.
The
The Jews.
The
Not
nice
the
people.
likely ones.
The nice ones.
Not just the
Likely.
likely. Yes, you got it.
Oh.
Not just the likely. And then I have another tag. The blank is ripe.
Boy, that's
Harvest.
The harvest is ripe. Okay? So many times we're like thinking
The banana is right.
that like
An avocado is right.
so many times we're thinking like, why would we go and do this? And then you go out and talk to people and you go and be led by the Lord to talk to people and you're like, wow, like God was working. If God is sending you somewhere, do you think he's preparing that way?
Yeah.
Yes, right? Like the way was prepared for them. It's
Where God-
amazing.
guides, he
Provides.
provides.
Ooh.
Where God
I got your blank.
he-
Oh, you're making this up on the spot? Where he leads,
Oh.
he
prepares the way.
I don't know, that doesn't rhyme.
He sees it because
He precedes. Where he leads, he precedes. That rhymes.
when she said seeds, because scatter-
Oh, he seeds. He plants the seeds. That's good too. All right. Let's see. Any other of these questions that we didn't talk to? The disciples missed stuff. What do you think the disciples expected? Yeah. What do you think Jesus expected the disciples? Back to that. What do you think Jesus expected the disciples to do when they were in the town?
Spread the gospel.
Yeah.
Get him lunch.
Understand what he actually said.
Yeah. I think he wanted them to see. I think he wanted them to see the people and be like, and have conversations and tell them about Jesus and be like, you want to come and see somebody? He might be the Messiah.
Blow your mind.
He will blow your mind. Come and see Jesus.
That's how we get back to the-
But I think they were locked in and getting food.
Come and see Jesus
Nothing else.
blow
All right, that's the Samaritan woman. I love this story if you couldn't tell. It's an amazing example of how to share the gospel with someone by the Master, Jesus. We can learn from him.